Hello and welcome, I am Mont or Alex, and today we'll be talking DLC lore, Schulva, the Sunken City. Typically I would cover specific characters, but I've had a lot of requests asking me to talk about the Lost Crowns trilogy, so I figured, why not? This will be a little different from my other videos, less of a character analysis, and more a summary of events the way I see them. In this first part we'll be talking about Schulva, the Sunken King, the Slumbering Dragon Sin, the Drake Blood Knights, and of course, Elana, the Squalid Queen. And in the future we'll talk about Broom Tower and Elana and Velstadt. I hope you enjoy it, and let's get started. What is the story of Schulva, the Sanctum City? It is one of vengeance. Long ago, the Sunken King, his name long since lost, and his people, discovered, deep beneath the surface, a dragon. Was he led to this dragon by his queen Elana? Was he a king before its discovery? These are questions to which we have no answers, but we know that the king erected the city of Schulva and the Dragon Sanctum Temple to worship sin, for dragons often inspire awe in lesser beings. For how long this city stood before its fall is likewise impossible to make out. But whilst it remained, Schulva was a land of advanced craftsmanship and powerful miracles. Whilst magic itself was shunned, it appears miracles and to a certain extent hexes flourished. And that is only natural. They worshipped the dragon and perhaps perceived miracles from its power. Although their mistrust of sorcery is almost ironic when you consider another dragon, a pale dragon, was the grandfather of sorcery. For all of their advanced technology and miracles, Schulva was seemingly no match when it came under siege by Sir Yor and his Drake Blood Knights. Indeed, it seems nothing stood in the way of these invaders, save the Sanctum Knights, warriors who renounced their own flesh so they might eternally guard the dragon's temple. But who was Sir Yor, and who were the Drake Blood Knights he led? It seems they came from a land where dragons were not worshipped in the same sense. For Yor and his men believed that the blood of a dragon would lead them to transcendence. So they came, whether in their dozens, hundreds or thousands we will never know. Led by Sir Yor, they lay siege to Schulva and the Dragon Sanctum, and Yor himself even cut down the Sunken King, killing him. But did the king put up any resistance? For his crown is found after the defeat of sin, which could imply any number of things. Was the king praying to his dragon when Yor found him? Was he attempting to rouse the dragon to come to his aid? Or did Elana simply place the crown by sin, the worm that her king had worshipped so? Either way, once the king was defeated, Yor turned his gaze and his blade on the dragon. But dragons do not die as easily as men. At once the sleeping beast was roused by Yor's blade, and unleashed a rain of death upon Schulva. For long had sin been storing poison within itself. Was it a natural defense, or was it storing that poison in a benevolent act, keeping that blight away from others? That last seems doubtful, for when have dragons ever cared for the fate of others? In the resulting chaos, Yor and his knights sank deep into the mire. The would-be dragon slayer lost to all, yet, in unleashing its poison, sin's purity was restored, and the city slept for years. Although the Sunken King was gone, his queen remained, Elana, a fragment of Manus, and her ire grew day by day. Was her wrath aimed at Yor, who had taken her king and city from her, or the world and everything in it? No matter the target, she remained for countless years, biding her time, amassing souls as she sang to the dragon, waiting for her time, for when she could unleash her vengeance. But why does she summon Velstadt, you might be wondering? I do not believe there is any significance behind that, but, just for the sake of it, why not speculate a little? Velstadt is Vendrick's loyal guardian, accompanying the king as he all but fled from Nishandra, another of the Manus fragments, and Velstadt's one-time brother-in-arms, Raimi, has since joined with Nadalia, yet another of Manus's children. A knight from a faraway land was lured to this accursed land, but forgot even why he came, eventually reduced to a shadow of his former self. Did he come from Schulva? Was he originally sent by Elana? Did he forget his purpose and instead devote himself to Vendrick, attracted to the king's charisma? What do you think? Me? I'm of the opinion that Elana's summoning of a shadowy Velstadt is no more important than her summoning of skeletons and pigs. Before we wrap this up, I'll give a brief mention to ancient soldier Varg, the afflicted grave robber, and Serra, the old explorer, collectively known as the Gank Squad Trio. Is there any lore or story relevance behind them? I am inclined to say no. I do not believe the grave robber is Alva. But if you want to assume that he took the armor from Alva's grave, fair enough. Serra is no doubt just an explorer who happens to wear a mirror-themed hat, but Yarg is the most interesting of the bunch. Ancient soldier Varg. And he wears full Havels. Havel had his own soldiers, and as far as I can remember, they all wore the same armor, but I do believe the Dragon Tooth was unique to Havel, by and large. That said, it would be rather nice if one of Havel's ancient followers had found his way, over years and years, to Schulva, teaming up with others along the way. I do not believe these NPCs play an important role, they are simply there to provide a rather bizarre, and at times frustrating boss fight. But that is just my take on the trio and Schulva as a whole, backed up where I can with information from the game. What do you think? Is your some long lost relation of Go? After all, their names are a little similar and they both seem to like slaying dragons. And did Yor have any other reasons for invading Schulva? Just what would Elana's eventual vengeance entail? Would she rise to the surface astride Sin, and would the two of them unleash poison across Drang Lake and the whole world? And what happened to Yor, the Kingslayer and would-be Dragon Slayer Knight? Was he lost in the mire, doomed to rot for eternity? What do you think? Please let me know in the comments, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope you look forward to the next video, where we get to talk about Broom Tower, Raimi, Alon, and the Iron King himself. Until then, you guys take care, and I will see you soon.